to swallow capsules that won't upset your stomach in all of our products. And we have our, after nighttime, something that I always drink after about noon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I will not have my green tea because it has a little bit of caffeine. So I will have my chamomile tea or my mint tea. And the chamomile tea is something that if you want a soothing beverage for the end of the day, a relaxing beverage, and it literally contains components. Drinking a cup of tea can be soothing. But chamomile tea literally contains biochemical components that are soothing, that are relaxing, that are wonderful to have at the end of the day. Also contains a great deal of protective compounds as well. So it's something that's a wonderful, healthy thing to add to our dietary or our nutritional regime. But at the same time, if sleep is important, it's a wonderful natural tool, better than having even a cup of decaf coffee. I was doing some research on that earlier because chocolate, we'll talk about chocolate at midnight. Chocolate contains a little bit of caffeine. Each piece of our chocolate contains a couple of milligrams, really insignificant amounts. But even a decaf cup of coffee will contain 10 or 15 milligrams of caffeine. So not an ideal beverage at the end of the day. Even if you're avoiding regular caffeinated coffee, you should probably avoid decaf as well because it still contains a pretty significant amount of caffeine. So if you're trying to go to sleep and if you want to get the best night's sleep, chamomile tea is the perfect beverage before. We also have chamomile blended with mint, which is also soothing and relaxing and also great for the digestive system. In fact, both are great for the digestive system.
They are indeed. And I have to say, try Andrew's teas. I mean, first of all, they're the most comforting, soothing, delicious experience. He's making all of us into tea drinkers. In fact, you probably noticed
all organic.
All organic.
All our teas are organic because when you make tea, and that's the chamomile, I just put a tea bag of the chamomile there, and it's all just chamomile blossoms. This is
look at how pretty that is even before you add water.
I don't want to pour any hot water on Lincoln. That would not be good. So. As you can see, and you can see the blossoms in the tea bag. There's no string because string is not something you want to be making tea out of. There's no paper label with inks on it because that's something you also don't want to be making tea out of. All of you're getting is a natural, biodegradable tea bag that contains 100% pure chamomile tea and chamomile blossom tea, Egyptian chamomile, and it's organic. So it's, and also, we have probably this image, I have my teas in the refrigerator, and all of our teas, whether our green teas or our mint tea or Earl Grey tea or any of our teas, you could steep them for hours, you could steep them for days, and they do not get bitter. And there are really no other teas you could say that about across the board. And if you can't do that with a tea, I will not make it one of our teas. So truly unique when it comes to tea.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's a delicious taste difference, much like our today's special that we'll talk about, of course, at midnight. But the thing is, if you find yourself wanting to do tea, because we know tea is so healthy for us, no one makes a better tea than Andrew. This is a perfect partner with nighttime. If you do have that difficulty falling asleep, or like I said, when you drink Andrew's tea, not only is it a world-class experience, it tastes amazing, but it's delicious, it's soothing, it's comforting. You saw it bloom in that cup. I mean, it's even pretty. It's a feast for the eyes, even before you indulge or, you know, indulge in that concept. So all we ask you to do is to pick your size of choice, the 30, the 60, and the 90. And I will forewarn you, usually in the teas, that's not something that we ever have a lot of just because of the quality with which, because you do these teas in a way no one else does.
Well, oftentimes, like the chocolate at midnight will go away in the summer.
It will.
You can't ship chocolate in the summer. Also, when we do our chocolate tonight, we won't probably have it back in stock until March. Because we literally, it's organic, fair trade cocoa beans. We have to order the cocoa beans months in advance. And when it comes to organic, because of some of the issues in the Middle East, Egyptian chamomile, organic chamomile, for a time was impossible to get. So rather than make an inferior tea, if we can't get the exact same quality as we had before, the tea goes away. So we only make the best tea, a tea that I would love, that you'll love, or the tea goes away. And right now we have a pretty limited amount.
Yeah.
I can't really see on the screen here, but I think we just have a few hundred in each size.
In the hundreds, literally. So we're in the hundreds remaining on all of the various sizes. And honestly, if you're like me, you look forward to taking this. For a lot of us out there, tea sometimes isn't a great experience just because it might be bitter, have that aftertaste. Just like Andrew's, there's no repeating with his vitamins. He's going to make the world's most delicious delicious vitamin for you at midnight. That, of course, will be our today's special. And this is something that you will really look forward to. You know you're doing something great for your body. It's calming, it's soothing, it's delicious, it's yummy. It does so many great things for our body, and it's also on a great special. So we should mention, basically, these are the last 24 hours. It's a one-day only special with Andrew, his last visit of the year, his last shows of the year. In honor of that, everything is on special pricing, free shipping, and special flex pays as well. But this is pretty amazing.
Need to do a tour.
For people who
Where's my
haven't seen
hairnet? Where's my hairnet?
this. Okay.
Do you have an extra one for me?
Here we go. All right.
Link, buddy, I'm going to leave you. My guy's not going to be happy with me leaving. Can you stay here? Can you sit? Can you stay? Good boy. Just stay there. We'll be back.
That's right. Okay.
We're going to go this way?
Okay, let's go this way.
Bye, Link. See you in a little bit.
Bye, Linky.
Poor little guy.
I know. He's like, where are you going?
I feel like I'm abandoning him.
I know.
Bye, bud. So here's our large bottling line, and that's where all the capsules are placed in the bottle. We have all the counters at the far end, and this is where at the end where they get labeled and then they get boxed up.
Wow.
So basically it's just a kind of a common sense linear process. The capsules go in the bottles then get sealed, the caps get put on the bottle, and the bottle then gets shrink wrapped up, labeled in shrink wrap. But if we want to go over here maybe really quick,
okay.
We just talked about our tea. And I guess earlier today we were running the chamomile peppermint tea, which is a blended chamomile peppermint tea. But that's our tea, that's our machine that fills the tea bags. And then after it fills the tea bag, it puts the tea bags into a protective foil, paper, poly enclosure. So it's hermetically sealed. So now we'll go quickly. We walked by a room that does powder fill as well there into packets. So we could fill like secure packets and things like that. As we go here quickly, we have a large blender here. Maybe if we pop in here. This is a large V blender, but it used to be considered a large V blender. It's not considered a large V blender anymore. When you see the new blenders we have that are much more efficient and significantly larger, as we walk along here, and if we maybe want to peek out here quickly.
Yeah. No, this is part of your warehousing.
This is where most of the inbound, you can see bottles and things like that. These are where all the inbound components come in, and then they move through production, and then they go to the other side of the facility where they leave.
Right.
So it's a very common sense process. As we go here, we're now looking at, this is a behemoth blender.
That's the big kahuna.
And, you know, Matt, who does all our construction work here, Matt Ryba, what he accomplished here, if you look at all of the tolerances and things, it's literally a miracle to create something like that. It's all stainless steel. When we fill the blender, when we empty the blender, everything is sealed. So there's literally no powder waste, no powder escape at all. And here's the junior version of that. It's 300, and that's 300 cubic foot, and this is 150 cubic foot. So they're both enormous blenders. And then this is our new powder fill line. So whether it's secure, whether it's marine collagen, which we'll talk about later, our marine collagen product, they would all be filled here. It's where a powder is put into a bottle directly, the bottle is immediately sealed. And then as we continue around here, and this is just a small portion of our production. Upstairs, we do all our liquid fill capsules, our soft gel capsules. Here, we have sort of a pre and post warehouse quickly. This is like a little mini warehouse that we use for staging our components for the powder fill room. So it's actually, as you can feel, everything is cooled in here. It's probably about in the 50s in terms of